Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be going through my top 10 favorite roller coasters of early 2020. Just saying, we will be having another list later this year, that's why it's early 2020, and hopefully it'll be a top 25 for the late 2020. I'm not that sure if I'm going to be doing another early 2020 or late 2020 next year, but we'll see. I'm at 2021, but we'll see. But I only have 41 coaster credits, and some of the coasters on this list are family, and they're not all thrill rides. Like, almost every B&M that I've ridden are actually on this list. So, just a disclaimer here, these are all of my opinions. I actually encourage you guys to create your own top 10 or top 25 list on your own YouTube channel, and I would actually love to see what you guys have ridden. What is your favorite coasters and what you like more. I also encourage you guys to go into the comment section actually right now after this video to tell me what maybe I should move around or what maybe I remove from the list. And a few coasters, one coaster that did not make the list is Tigris at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. It actually barely missed it. So let's get started into this thing. Coming at the number 10 spot is Cobras Curse, a mock ride spinning coaster. This is my personal favorite mock rides coaster. This is an awesome spinning coaster, and one thing that I like about this coaster is it goes forwards, backwards, and spins. And the backwards part is tame, which it should be, because it's a family coaster. It just goes through a little helix. But the spinning part is fun. The forwards part is fun because you go through that really cool drop, and you get to go right by the Cobra, which is awesome to me. This is one of the best coasters at the park, and it's a really good coaster if you're getting into the bigger coasters before you go on Chetah Hunt or one of them. But it's a really good ride in my opinion. Coming in the next spot, we got our Oscar's Wacky Taxi at Sesame Place in Pennsylvania. This is a really cool Gravity Group wooden coaster. In my opinion, this is my first ever Gravity Group wooden coaster I've ridden. But I have ridden another Gravity Group wooden coaster. This one's a really cool one because it's a good starter coaster if you're getting into bigger and faster and actually airtime. It's a really good introducer to the airtime, and it's fun, fast, and has tons of positive ejector airtime, which I love about it. Coming at the number 8 spot, this is Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a really cool B&M flying coaster. Right now, the only B&M flyer that I've actually ridden. One thing that flying coasters are known for is the intense pretzel loop. This one also has the beautiful little splashdown type thing by the lake area and has a really cool ending. This one does have a mid-course unlike most flying coasters. It is an enjoyable ride. Like I said, the pretzel loop's insane. It actually is pretty tall for a flying coaster. It's actually on the taller side compared to the Superman Ultimate Flight Coins. But coming at the number 7 spot, we got Chetah Hunt at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, an Intamin Blitz coaster. This is my personal favorite Intamin coaster right now. This is an awesome Intamin because it has 3 launches. It's very long, a very unique coaster, and it's really good, and it's a very good borderline family coaster. It is a borderline family coaster. There's a couple of pops of airtime. One of my favorite airtime moments on Chetah Hunt is right after that 3rd launch. There's a pretty good ejector hill, which actually does give you a lot of ejector airtime on every row. It's definitely one of my favorites, and actually I really like Chetah Hunt. It's a very good Intamin Blitz coaster, and I recommend it for everybody who's getting into more coasters. But coming at the number 6 spot is Sheikra at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay as well. This is the only dive coaster to make the list. This is a really cool B&M dive coaster because it's super cool because it has a 90-degree drop and it features the one inversion of the Edelman. Now this one is a clone of one out in China, but I still consider it to be an original layout because this was the first ever dive coaster with an inversion, and it opened as the longest, tallest, and fastest dive. It's a really cool coaster. I personally think it will be the best dive coaster I'll ever ride, even though I will be riding more dive coasters over the year. It's a really cool dive coaster. I personally enjoy it. Coming into the number 5 spot is Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. This is the prototype of all B&M sit-down and floorless coasters. For a layout like this, it's very good. One thing that's noticeable about Kumba is it's more intense than some others because of how fast it flies through the inversions. Especially that Cobra roll. It actually flies through that Cobra roll unlike some floorless coasters. It's fun, forceful, and actually it's very smooth for opening up back in 1993. I found it buttery smooth. There's no rattle to it. It's an awesome ride. It's the most forceful coaster, or one of the most forceful coasters I've ridden at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. It's such an enjoyable ride. I can actually marathon Kumba, and I'm glad it's at one of my home parks in the Central Florida area. It's awesome. But coming at the number 4 spot is Mind Blower at Fun Spot Kissimmee. This is a Gravity Group wooden coaster. This is my second ever wooden coaster, and I've ridden it, and it's the only other wooden coaster on my list. This is an awesome wooden coaster. This is basically a one-up of Oscar's Wacky Taxi. One reason, this thing is taller and faster, and one awesome thing is this is the only coaster in Florida with an inversion, a 0G roll, which is just awesome. Now, it is on the rougher side, and it is a little bit hard to marathon, but I actually got over 20 rides on this when I went to Fun Spot Kissimmee. It's awesome, fast, and I recommend it if you're going to be getting into wooden coaster, especially if you're in the Florida area and you're not ready for White Lightning, even though you should ride White Lightning before Mind Blower, because this features the inversion. But it is a really cool coaster. It is definitely the best coaster at Fun Spot Kissimmee. It's really cool. In my opinion, it's one of the best coasters that I've ever ridden. Number 3 is Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. This is an awesome B&M floorless coaster. In my opinion, this is my favorite floorless coaster and actually sit-down coaster on this list right now. This floorless coaster is so cool that I honestly can marathon it all day. This isn't my favorite coaster at SeaWorld Orlando, but it is a really cool coaster. It's really fun, enjoyable, and one cool thing is, it has one of the tallest loops in the world. Very smooth. I did not find any headbanging except for the 0G roll. I did get a little, but the rest of it's really good. The Cobra roll is actually really good because Cobra rolls could be bad, like on Vekoma boomerangs, but the Cobra roll on Kraken is really good. I enjoy it. It's definitely really cool. The second half is unique with the second vertical loop and the corkscrew. And I'm gonna have a very unique coaster at my home park. Number 2 goes to Manta, the B&M inverted coaster. My favorite inverted coaster, and my first ever coaster that went upside down 7 times. I have a soft spot for Manta, and that's why I would always rank Manta so high. When I say it's a really good invert, I mean it. 7 inversions, 2 vertical loops, an Edelman, a 0G roll, a batwing, and a corkscrew. It's a really good ride. Awesome. The 90-degree bank turn is awesome. I love how compact the corkscrew is, and my personal favorite inversion on the ride, probably gonna not be a surprise, but it's that batwing. That batwing is just amazing. This ride is awesome, and I do recommend it if you love B&M inverted coasters. It is so cool. B&M inverts are just some of the best coasters, and right now, actually, my second favorite model by B&M. It's that good. But actually, it's a really good ride. But coming in at the number 1 spot, and I'm going to be telling you guys, it's Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a B&M hypercoaster. This is my favorite coaster that I've ridden. It's actually my favorite coaster since January. I rode my first hypercoaster, Mako, just a few months ago, and this is it. This is an awesome ride. In my opinion, this is the best coaster right now in Florida until Iron Gwazi opens. This is an amazing attraction. It's very smooth, very tall, and very fast. There are so many airtime hills on this thing. The drop gives you a lot of airtime. There's just a lot of airtime, fun over banks, and it's just a really good, smooth ride. I'm glad it doesn't have a rattle like Nitro or the boringness of Apollo's Chariot, but it's just a really good ride. I personally think it's the best hypercoaster I'll ever ride, even though Goliath and Shambhala might be better. One thing about the drop is you get a lot of airtime. The camelbacks are good. Even the camelback with the trim rig does not do anything to the ride. Still good. Every airtime hill you get a lot of airtime on. I honestly think it's the best coaster in Florida right now. It's my personal favorite, and it's just really good. It's very nice. It's including at the ending where the few overbanks. That is really what makes the ride beautiful. And it's really awesome to see that a coaster that nice could be so photogenic. It's so cool. I love how if you're on the left seat, you can stick your arm out. You can try touching the stuff by the water. It's a really fun and enjoyable ride. But that is my top 10 favorite coasters of early 2020. Just remember, these are my opinions, and you guys don't have to agree with me. These are all my favorite coasters I've ridden right now, and I do have plans to ride many more over this summer. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below what your opinions are on the video. And I encourage you guys to create a top 10, top 5, or even top 25 list to tell me in the comments below what are your favorite coasters. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.